Thankfully, we are not looking at that kind of severe threat as we head into tomorrow, but we could have a couple strong storms. It would be wind, gusty straight line wind. That would be our biggest threat, and it is not expected to be widespread. A couple briefly strong storms possible. That would mainly be during the afternoon hours tomorrow. We will have a little activity drifting about tonight, so not a bone dry evening. I mentioned the chance for a couple strong storms tomorrow with straight line wind, that main threat. Rain chances will pull back as we head towards the weekend, but in response to that, the lack of rain means the heat and humidity are going to surge forward. So let's start with the severe threat for tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center maintains a large area across Tennessee, Kentucky, areas east, our neighbors to the west, in being in a marginal risk. So that's a level 1 on their scale from 1 to 5. As I mentioned, main threat here would be gusty straight line wind with some of the stronger storms. Can't rule out the possibility of a little bit of small hail. You get some of those really strong updrafts, and it can help create a little bit of pea-sized hail with some storms that come through. Warm and dry for most of us at this point. We had a handful of storms pop up today. It's what we expected, and a couple of those are still drifting about on our southern tier. Davidson County coming in bone dry, but hot, upper 80s. We were actually in the low 90s for our top temperature today. So here's a look at the current activity. Just a couple stray showers, mainly across southern parts of Marshall County. Coming out of Giles County, there were some more robust thunderstorms there earlier, but those have rained themselves out. Hopping over to West Tennessee near the Mississippi River, there's a couple drifters out there, but it's just that, drifters. And once we get past sunset tonight, most of this activity is going to die down. Very muggy conditions. There's a lot of moisture in place for these storms. 70 overnight tonight with the chance for a couple rumbles in the overnight time frame. They will become more numerous and more widespread once the sun comes up tomorrow. That's a key thing I've been trying to drive home. It's not just afternoon storm chances. You'll have to deal with rain even in the morning. This is what it looks like with some computer modeling. Fairly quiet as we head towards midnight. The best chance for some storms will be closer to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, right as News Channel 5 this morning is getting underway. And then the sun comes up and you start to see things blossom, right? It's like splashing a little bit of water in a hot, oily pan. Spotty showers and storms tomorrow. Again, a couple gusty wind makers possible. This will persist into the late afternoon, the sunset time frame, and then we'll begin to wind down late tomorrow night. Also keeping a really close eye on Tropical Storm Cristobal. So at this point, the center of the system is over land, so it's weakened. Impacts to the U.S. are expected late this weekend, and we may see rain as early as Tuesday of next week from some of the moisture associated with Cristobal. I'll talk more about any tropical impacts here in Tennessee and Kentucky coming up at 6:30. We got to get through the rest of this work week before we get to next week, and it is going to be very hot and very humid as we head towards the weekend, Rory.